What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good? It's night right about the hood.
Oh, dear God. I'm already eating and drinking. Look a damn mess. Just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up, what's up, what's up? It's me, it's me, it's me. L Teddy 27, and I am back for yet another review. This is going to be our review for CLICKBAIT. This is season 1. It is episode 4. It is entitled The Mistress. Now we are way deep down into all of the information about who done it, how it was done, and who is the culprit and who was involved. Now, I'm still, and y'all know my number one suspects are the oldest son first, and maybe the sister. Those are my people. At first, it was the mom and the oldest son. Now it's the sister and the oldest son. Oldest son's still in there for me. So, Mistress chick, remember her name is Emma Beasley. We start off, she's getting interrogated by Detective Amiri. And then we have a flashback. They go back 6 weeks back to LA where she's from. And we find out about her. She works for an insurance company, this, that, and the third. And we kind of get a little glimpse of what was going on with her and Nick. Nick is being all nice, buying her birthday gifts and all of that good lovey-dovey jazz. She's all happy. And, oh, my God, I finally found a man. He's so nice. He's so cute. He treats me so right. Blase squaze. Anyway, she was out at the gym or whatever working out with her friends, and they were just going on and on about how she's so happy to find Nick. And the news story came across her phone, and it was about the video with Nick or whatever. She saw it, and she shows it to her friend. She says, "I need to go to LA. I mean, not LA, Oakland." And her friend says, "I don't think that's a good idea." She's like, "No, I need to go." Meanwhile, I want y'all to put a bookmark in. The friend had never met Nick. Friend had only heard about Nick. Friend had never met Nick, and she was like, "Yeah, one day, hopefully, I can get to go out to dinner. I can meet him or whatever." Keep that. Anyway, she decides she needs to go to Oakland because she wants to help with everything going on with Nick or whatnot, and she thinks she has information that might help the police. So when she's on her way, frantically going to Oakland, she goes to the airport and tells the lady at first, the lady that, don't they have some kind of discount for bereavement? And the lady was like, yes. And she said, but you have to qualify. And she said it was only for parents and spouses. And she was like, well, that was my fiance. Now, mind you, we know that wasn't her fiance. She also, if you remember, if you watch, she did not know that Nick was married. She didn't know that. Because I vividly remember her being surprised when she saw that he had a wife. She did not know all that. So then when she gets to her hotel, she also lies and says that Nick was her fiance as well. He wasn't her fiance, but not here or there. We then see they give us the moment again at Sophie's house where Ethan had stormed out. And this is from the outside perspective. This is from Emma's perspective, where we see Ethan storm out of the house and Sophie get in the car after him. Which, now that I'm seeing it from this angle, goes back to my point. He left from the front and went straight out and started skateboarding. It's no way she shouldn't have been able to catch him or see him because he's on a fucking skateboard and she's in the car or whatever. Anyway, Emma follows Sophie, and then we see the confrontation outside the skate park. And so Emma did tell Sophie that she was going to go to the police with everything that she knows. I don't think I remember that part when they showed us last episode, but that she did go show us that. At her hotel, though, her friend called her and asked her, say, hey, whore, hey, bitch, why the fuck are you still here? Why are you still here? Why? You told me you was going down there, you was going to give a statement to the police, and you was going to bring your ass right back here. Why the fuck are you here? I'm still there. She's like, oh, I feel like I need to be here, this, that, and the third, ... X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. Anyway, she goes to the police station, and so they start to interrogate her and stuff like that, because she was trying to give information, and then they flipped it on her and said, well, where were you the morning that Nick was abducted or kidnapped or apprehended or whatever? She did. When they let her go, she got in the car. She called her friends and said, I need you to corroborate my alibi, because now they, are asking me where I was and I could be a suspect. Then we see her going through all of these social media posts. She goes through Nick's social media. She goes through all of these different social media sites, gathering and collecting information about Nick. I paid attention and focused on the fact that she focused on, finding out like who his kids were and what their names were. So she's gathering a lot of information. Girl, I don't buy her. I felt like, and I wrote down, I feel like she's gathering info because she's lying and never really was with it. I don't know if she was ever really with Nick. She might have fantasized. She gives me sick, dementia, deranged white woman tease, okay? That will make up this kind of stuff. She saw him online on a date night, but he was real cute, real cute. And she decided, oh, I'm just going to concoct this thing in my head. Like, she gives me shit like that. None of your friends met him. Y'all talk every day. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Anyway, she goes to the university where Nick worked, and she sneaks into his office and then starts sniffing his clothes and going through everything. And I'm like, there's some fatal attractions. There's some hand that rocks the cradle, fatal attraction, demented, sick, and twisted white woman type shit. Girl. She then introduces herself to Matt, who remembers Nick's friend. At first, I don't know why I thought that was Pia's boyfriend, but anyway, that's Nick's best friend. And she did not introduce her as someone that Nick was dating. I paid attention to that. She did not say that conveniently. Um, she didn't say that and to Matt because she knew Matt was the best friend, and she knew if she was, Matt would have knew her name. And remember, I told y'all she had just went through scouring all of the social media to gather and collect data and information. So she conveniently knew she knew Matt's name, she knew the name of the kids, she knew all of this information. But at the beginning of the episode, you didn't even know he was married. Girl, make it make sense. Pia then goes to the university to confront Matt to see her because this is after she found out the information about Nick cheating. And so she goes to Matt to confront him and see if he knew that Nick was cheating. And Matt denies knowing anything. I don't know nothing. Matt say, Pia say, yeah, there's some chick named Emma who's saying that she and Matt were in a relationship. And I mean, her and Nick was in a relationship. And Matt was like, oh, she just left here. A mess. We see Sophie there making funeral arrangements. And while she's talking to the funeral director at her house, her phone started getting flooded with all kinds of horrible text messages calling her a whore and bitch and saying people shouldn't be have sympathy for her, this, that, and the third. And they making this black woman to be this horrible person where her husband is the one who was cheating on her left, right, and sideways. I'll get that in a moment. And so she tells the funeral director, listen, we're gonna have to finish this later. We gotta finish this up later. We gotta continue this later. And so she starts to go online on her phone and she sees that the press is now hassling Curtis, dude we found out about last episode, and asking him if he and her are in a relationship. And so she realizes that, we have a problem. So Pia, well, next thing we see, Pia goes to Emma's hotel room because Emma conveniently told Matt what hotel she was going to be in. So Matt told Pia that information. Pia goes over to the hotel. Emma magically has all this information. Remember, she's been going around and people have been volunteering bits of information to her as well. She'll come with a piece, and because she'll come with a little piece, somebody else will finish the other part of it. Like she'll know a name or know a half part of a story, and then the other person will figure that she knows what's going on and just volunteer all of the information and confirm a lot of information that she didn't know. So now she's using all of this to convince Pia. Because she was like, oh, I know y'all had a situation when y'all were young. He told me all about that, but he didn't tell me exactly what it was. Girl, then that mean he didn't probably tell you. Because if y'all were that in love and lovey-dovey, he would have told you. Girl, I don't buy you. Anyway, look at my notes. Pia gets some text messages, a text message from Sophie saying, listen, I need to see you. It's urgent. Because now she got, she's getting all these texts and stuff like that. So Pia gives her phone to Emma and says, put your number in there in case I have questions later. She said, hey, bitch, your stinking ass even being here is causing shit to go downhill for us. a mess. Just a whole goddamn mess. Um, so we get back to Sophie's house. The people done doxed her, okay? They done not only put her phone number online, they done put all her credit cards online. So her and her mama Ruby talking about, hey, you need to change your phone number and cancel all these cards. Nick Mama there, and Nick Mama starts turning this on Sophie like she's a horrible person and said, oh, what about you betraying my son, this, that, and the third. Now, wait a minute. I understand that you are in 12 stages of grief, okay? However, and maybe they just have not told the mama yet, it is being exposed that Sophie is the victim here, and that you've been cheating on her left, and that your son, or you say she betrayed, has been cheating on her left, right, and sideways for years now. But everybody's coming down on this black woman. Oh, child, a mess, a mess, a mess. Because they always want to believe the white woman, or they always want to believe the white man. You ain't gonna believe no parts of the black person. But I guess. So Nick mom just lashes out. She's just started, and Ruby is not here for the fuck shit. Ruby said, I know the fuck you lying. I ain't you ain't finna just be around here coming at my daughter like this. Bitch, you done lost your fucking. And Ruby comes right back and then just Nick mama, she's grieving. She just has a whole breakdown and just has a whole breakdown. That was not comfortable. That was very uncomfortable. Because Pia is there and Pia knows the truth. And that's how I knew they didn't tell the mom all the stuff Nick had going on. Because Pia is there, and Pia knows that the mom should not be going off on Sophie like this. But she don't say a goddamn thing. She just let her mom go off and ramble off. I mean, I know part of it is because she knows her mom is grieving from because her mother never wants to bury her child. But at the same point in time, you need to tell your mom to direct her anger elsewhere. Emma is still at the hotel. Her friend is still asking her, girl, why are you there? I told you to bring your ass home. I just feel I need to be here. Girl, I told you this is some hand that rocks the cradle type shit. So then, some dude calls her and threatens her and says, we know what hotel you at, we know what room you in. You need to get your ass out of town. And she gets scared. She gets spooked. She calls the police. The police, the 911, I should say, they were asking her, do you feel safe? No, somebody's after me. They threatened my life. She packing out. She trying to get the hell out of Dodge. She calls Pia after getting off the phone with 911. Pia doesn't answer. It goes to voicemail. Told y'all something about Pia and the oldest son are my two biggest suspects right now. So she packs her shit and she loads up the car and leaves the hotel. As she's driving, this truck starts to follow her. Truck rams into the back of her, rams into the sides of her, and causes her to crash into this dumpster. At the hospital, Detective Amiri comes to the hospital. He starts to question Emma about everything that just happened. Pia comes through. So after he got to questioning him and Detective Amiri and Pia leave. Pia goes to the detective and says, "You keeping information from me, and that's not the deal." Yeah. So he tells her, "Listen, there were other women, many, many, many other women, and we didn't see it, but I'm just guessing that he just went through all of the information he knew, some of the names and all of the information that he had with her. Because when Pia got that information, she immediately storms back into the room with Emma and tells Emma names of chicks and everything the police had found out about Nick's pattern of going on one of the dating apps, meeting someone, and after the relationship under a pseudonym or whatever, and after the relationship doesn't go through, he deactivates his account. And it's a pattern. And it's a bunch of women. She was basically letting her know, bitch, you ain't the only one. Now, my brain said, I don't know that the detective gave her all of that information right then, or if this is information she already knew. Because, well, I'll just wait for it to unpack because it just doesn't seem right for me. I don't know. Like, Pia just conveniently rolled off all that information. And I'm sure if you have an open investigation going on, she should be, first of all, the detective should be giving her that and offering up that kind of information in an open investigation anyway. Especially if you know you're trying to do the right thing and move up in the detective world. That's the first rule. You don't give up that information and shit like that, knowing that they could compromise the whole investigation. And then for her to just nilly willy offer all that information to her, girl, I don't buy it. Something ain't right here. Anyway, Pia then and starts searching. Not Pia. Emma finally goes home, but she starts searching up some of the names that Pia gave her and all of the information. Starts trying to find out more information about the other women that Nick was dating. Anyway, so I forgot to mention that while she was there at Sophie's house before she first met Sophie and stuff like that, during the time where, remember I told you where we got to see how Ethan left on the skateboard again. She spoke with one of the journalists that were out there, and he gave her his card and said, I was the one who broke the story about Nick and da 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 da. So she gets his card and she calls him because now he's doing this expose where she gets to tell her lies, her story, and her truth about everything she found out about who Nick really was, this, that, and the third. And now she on TV giving interviews conveniently. And it goes off from there. I don't believe no parts of her. The bitch is lying. I don't believe no parts of her. I also am side-eyeing Pia, and I still got the oldest son on my radar. Those two. That's all we got, y'all. We gonna continue to watch and continue to review and put this together. Till next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.